How do we know? Hello.
Yeah. Okay, we got the audience. All right.
I
If
I
we're
can
live,
see a chat. So is that
yeah,
saying
that's Sarah's.
yeah,
That's Sarah's.
series? Is it?
Yeah,
I assume yeah. Hi series and the reference frame. Hello.
yeah, the reference ring. All right. Yeah, we're live. Hello, folks. If
Hi.
you could tell, that is Chokinonashes. So, welcome to Fridays with LT9K. My name is LT9K. Please hit the like, share, subscribe. You all know when I go live, get a short video, put a premiere, or a video essay. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Choky Non Ashes. Welcome, Choky.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, I've decided to have my camera off because I
okay.
am a little bit paranoid. I
Oh,
mean, I've got reason, but I am paranoid too.
oh,
And
yeah. Yeah,
and I
no, it's
just thought,
okay.
and then I had a quick glimpse, and I thought, no way, am I going live looking like that?
No, no, it's okay.
uh,
Okay, yeah. So,
right,
hello to Reference Brain, Sarah's, DJX. Sorry I'm late. We had some technical problems. And yeah, Choky, can we introduce you? So those who don't know you?
yeah. So yeah, my name's Vicky, but yeah, I actually like Chofi. I never
Mhm.
thought it would be said out loud on lives. It's a very old name.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I have jumped on here to talk about my. I was going to write some stuff down, but then I get too much in my head about it. So
Oh,
I
no.
jumped on to tell you about this like really crazy story that it's still quite not over. Um, but the most terrifying part is, yeah, that happened to me. It really like I can understand why people thought I was. I mean, and for a while I wasn't well, so I will use words like crazy and things, but um, I'm going to try, obviously not in an ableist manner, but I mean, I was labelled what was my diagnosis, and then they found out I was telling the truth, and they had to change it. It
Yeah.
was um, persistent delusional disorder, and this was because they didn't know my neighbours were fundamentalist Christians. Right? Okay, so I'll start at the beginning. Leave some of I'll leave some of it out, but yeah. So I moved. I'm from Cornwall in the UK. We like to
Mm.
think of ourselves as a bit separate from England, like Wales,
Yeah.
although like Wales and Scotland, although we've got no official recognition. Um, uh, Lived in London for a really long time, and then I came down to Bristol like very, very suddenly in 2016, and I'd actually just been um, started watching Majority Report features heavily in in this story.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I came down. Yeah, so I started watching Majority. I remember watching clips at first. I don't know about 2015, and thinking Sam was hot. I might, and I was really pissed off with English politics as well. I was like, so yeah, I just started watching. Yeah, found Majority Report. Didn't like TYT early on.
Oh my God.
um, yeah, yes, yeah, I never really liked Cenk. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so I came down to Bristol. God, it feels like well, it was a long time ago, 10 years ago, but it feels like centuries ago. In July 20, in fact, July the 27th, 2016. So it was something. Yeah, weird things happened on the dates later on. Um,
Yeah.
then and I was in a safe house for about 2 years, and then which wasn't very safe. There's a lot of scam charities in Bristol, in the UK in general, but Bristol is full of them. It's a way of making money and sort of like exploiting people, and under the name of charity, lots of services became charities. Like Blair did loads of forensic. Blair was like a mini Thatcher, really. Anyway, to what he did for the country, all stayed pretty much with her policies. Anyway, this is about So yes, I came down to Bristol, and then so I live in I moved to this place called St Paul's, which is a really historic Afro-Caribbean area. It's where Massive Attack comes from. In fact, they come from literally the street, like
Uh-huh.
5 seconds, 5 seconds, like that way. Um, it's a really nice area. It used to be quite rough. In fact, yeah, I used to hear stories about it when I was young in Cornwall, and they had sort of uprisings and all. Yeah, I like the word riot, but people call it an uprising now. Um, and so I moved to this place in St Paul's, and my place is owned. So my landlord's the local authority, the local council. Um, it's yeah, it's what social housing. Yeah. Oh God, sorry.
Oh
I've
God.
got so many devices going on in here.
And
Yeah. So yeah, I won't go into all the stuff. Yeah, all the stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I've got. Well, I really, really like this flat in St Paul's. I was gonna stay away from. Well, I was gonna stay single. Yeah. I'm also a recovering heroin addict.
yeah, yeah.
I was when I was young. Then I relapsed in 2012 for a bit, and then I haven't taken anything since 2017, maybe just a one off or something. I do smoke
Ooh.
weed though, uh,
Oh.
but that's important to the story. That's my anyway. So yeah, so I moved down here, got this really nice flat. I had parking, which is difficult to get here. I had like a little outside space, and in London, it's just really hard to find gardens and things like that, or any outside space. You're lucky if you've got one. Upstairs was private, and it was rented to some people. Anyway, I'd been there not that long, maybe about less than 6 months. When, in fact, I remember seeing them for the first time. These people came to, so the house went up for sale upstairs. So it's not a whole house. I had the basement. They had, well, they described it as a maisonette on the legal thing. So, um, you know, but it, it is a big house that they had, and we had to share. Oh God, it's going to freak me out a little bit. So we had to share the outside bit as well. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the first time, anyway, the first time I met them, there was someone that I knew that I shared a house with. It was her birthday. She was pissed outside, and we were just like
Oh.
standing there, and they came and they said, "Oh, we're coming to look at the house." And on site, I thought, "There's something wrong with these people." Um, anyway, unfortunately, they bought it, and they did loads of work to it, but they also removed the soundproofing. Are you all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm listening.
And are you following? Is it
Yeah, yeah, I'm following
okay?
you. I mean, shit, this is a crazy story. I mean,
Oh, you
how
haven't.
the fuck did they
Wait,
do
yeah,
that?
you wait. This is it gets yeah. So yeah, so they bought the house around March, and then they did lots of work on it, and they moved in around September. Like I'm kind of guessing, but I know it's around that. But they
Yeah.
removed all the soundproofing. I could hear them like opening drawers, walk it. I could identify who each person was. I mean, it's totally illegal. Um,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I kept expecting the council to come out, and then the pandemic hit. So,
Oh, yeah.
but and I didn't realize for a long time that they were following me because I just thought, I mean, I didn't know that. And I just thought they were my neighbours that I saw a lot. Um, and they were really freaky. They were always asking me to go to the. So so that's what. So the minute that I met them, when they came to see the house, they introduced themselves as Christians, which is very unusual in this
My
country. I mean,
God.
obviously we have people of all faiths and we have cults, but they. I mean, I've never been affected by them, and I don't know. In fact, in Bristol, I've met lots more that have been affected by cults, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no one else was affected by them. It was just, yeah. So first of all, they tried to get me to join. It was, I used to look after their kids. That, yeah, so didn't like them on site, and I could not stand him on site. I was gonna like, but I'll wait until after I've done the police case, because I've got loads of pictures and videos and things.
Yeah.
I've got a video of him threatening me, but I'll wait until after the police case just in case. um, yeah, I've got so much. I mean, yeah, so much evidence against him. Anyway, so when, yeah, what happened? Yeah, so they kept asking me to go. So they their church is called Woodlands, and there's a branch of it in Bristol, in a place called Clifton, which is sort of it's known for the most expensive area in Bristol. I don't actually like it much, but they're buying properties like all over the place, and they run this thing called the Alpha course, but which I like. In the beginning, I was really confused. I thought the whole thing was one church, but like, and they didn't tell me, and I didn't really want to know. And then, yeah, so the Alpha course is an evangelical sort of charismatics course, but lots of churches do it. So some churches that aren't necessarily cults will do it, but Woodlands is their evangelical. Yeah, I mean, it comes from Texas. They think they think that music with drums is satanic, and they're racist, homophobic, misogynistic.
Like,
They're the works.
oh my
So the
God.
so apart from like just vibes and really not liking them and trying to get away, I had nothing concrete at first. And then I both saw and heard them hit the children. So I knew they were violent. And I knew how much he hated me. It was like blatantly, I mean, we couldn't hide how much we disliked
Oh
each
my
other.
God.
Yeah, it was really awful.
Wow.
And then we were locked in together. So I'm in this massive little, I mean, I've only got the basement part of it, but I'm in this big building locked in the pandemic. I can't go out, or you can go out on your own and things.
Mm,
um and also they could, so not only could they could obviously hear me, and they would follow me. So both my, but I had a back door. I've got very much the same flat as here, but this is much
hmm
nicer, and I don't have to share it with any share the back garden with anyone. And it's a garden. It's not like the other place was more like just a concrete yard sort of thing. I mean, it was very nice, but this is loads nicer. God, it literally nearly killed me a couple of times getting it though. So
hmm
anyway, yeah, so the first real like concrete thing that I had, and also I didn't really know people in Bristol. So I've got two sisters here, but one I didn't grow up with, and I don't really want to talk, but she's responsible for a lot that that's happened. And yeah, that, I mean, we're we're a messed up, very dysfunctional family, and I was starting to make friends and things, but then the pandemic happened. So yeah, so I've been hit, but not in that flat. I've been in Bristol 2 years, and then I moved into that flat in 2018. Then they bought it early 2019. They moved in anyway. So I can't. Yeah, so he was definitely following me around, but it wasn't until I'm trying to think what the first thing that happened was, because I caught him bang to rights and I was in the majority report chat, and I don't know who's here, but there was a guy, he doesn't chat anymore. He's too communist. Um, his name
uh,
is Sat. I caught
oh
the
yeah,
pastor
sad.
peeping at me. So, and I remember Sam responding, and I said, he's 100% peeping. And then I started moving around, and it was like, oh, that's what he's doing. And then
Hmm
yeah, so that definitely happened first, right? And so then Michael Brooks died on the 20th or 21st, because the of July 2020. And that's also,
R.I.P.
I started
R.I.P.
seeing, I was getting really scared, because so these people were not leaving me alone. So each time I would go out of the door, one of them would come after me. It was I mean, not come after me, but they'd come and sort of try and talk to me and things. Um, I mean, it was later on, they did try and come after me, but I would just have to film myself going in and out. So
Yeah.
anyway, so I was stuck because partly because I was so scared, and partly because he was just there and he's still a mate. I started seeing this British Jamaican guy. We don't usually say British Jamaican. He is British, but he's Jamaican. He's just Jamaican, but he's from here. And his name's Froggy, and he's really well known. I mean, I had no clue, but he's really well known in Bristol. And I just used to go and hang out at his place. Anyway, on so Michael died. So Froggy's best friend died the same day as Michael, but because
Yeah.
of the day difference. So I think Michael died on the 20th,
Yeah.
and I think Ajax, his name is, died like that night. Anyway, and I was not getting much sleep because these kids would be sort of waking up, you know.
Oh
So I mean,
no.
I literally I had to live around them. If they were noisy, then I was awake. So
Jesus.
and I would wake up sort of around 4. That just became the natural thing because that's the only time I had that was
Oh
quiet.
my God.
And then, and I mean, I played loads of music anyway, but they started. I mean, I started having to do it to block them out. Anyway, so the first major thing that happened was we were having, and it was the 27th of July, which is the same day as I moved down here. So we had this autumn
Yeah,
festival.
autumn
People
leaves.
started this Discord we called it the PRC, which is pre-recorded chat, but it's also, People's Republic of Chat. Yeah, it can be whatever you want it, but it was pre-recorded chat. Anyway, we were having like a little wake for Michael, and I was playing. I was playing music, and
Mhm.
he came fucking storming down. Like I don't know. I've actually got it on the Discord, and he said, We've had about enough of this. Um, Turn the music. I can't remember. So obviously, I turned the music off, and I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for some kind of confrontation. I knew he was violent, and I knew he was he had no control. Although, yeah, I didn't know quite how bad he was. And
Yeah.
he tried to hit me. He tried to hit me,
Oh.
and I got the door. Yeah, so so he came fucking storming down the steps outside. I'm pointing as though I'm still there. And you can't see me. I'm not on camera anyway.
I know.
um, I opened the door, and that's the first time I let rip. I said, "Fuck off and leave me alone, you bigot."
Oh, fuck.
And he went, and at that because I think he thought that he could. I don't know what he thought. Um, he put his fist out, and I got the door shut in time. And that is my biggest fucking regret of the
Oh,
whole thing.
fuck. Autumn, I hope you're
And then
watching.
and then he hit my window twice really hard. Like that would have been my face. Anyway, so
Mm.
I mean, not that I knew that then, they obviously went storming up. So, and I wrote it immediately onto Discord. I was shitting myself. I was shaking. So
Oh,
I've
shit.
been in DV relationships before. I was diagnosed with complex PTSD in 2009. And this was like
Oh my God.
2020. And I'd had a really shit time in London when I relapsed. So when I started taking heroin, I did it to try and kill myself. And when I relapsed in 2012, I did it to try and kill myself. I
Oh
wasn't,
no.
it was, anyway. Yes, that's just the way it was. I was in a shit space. Um, anyway, um, so I told the people, thank fuck I had those people on Discord. Yeah, some of them are still there and some of them are still friends. Um, so anyway, they phoned my fucking doctor. I didn't know that then, and told them a whole load of bullshit. Anyway, so this kind of came. I can't really remember the next few steps, except that's when they really started like um, coming after me and gaslighting me and doing all sorts of things. So my first arrest was early in September. So I've never known what my first arrest was for. I've been arrested. So I've been sorry, not docs. I keep saying docs instead of swatting. I've been swatted
Yeah.
by them, resulting in arrest 10 times. It's not funny. But
I know.
now I'm away from it is um, I don't know how many times I just used to have the police showing up. And I had never, I was the victim. I never had done anything to them at all. So my first, I've never known what it's for. They never told me, and that's when I was beaten up. The police broke my teeth, and these were female police. Sorry, I don't like the word female. They were women police.
No,
But
no, it's okay.
um, yeah, because later on someone said, "Oh, would you feel better talking to women police?" And I said, "No, they were the ones that messed me up." And the reason I think I was beaten up, so I had what I think is some kind of fit. I've never had it before since I couldn't talk. So I just got out of the bath. I could hear them up. I could hear the police upstairs. And
Yeah.
so what the whole thing was about is they thought that they could get this guy called Froggy through me. They had told that the police I was taking heroin. And I later
Oh my
read what
fucking
they'd written,
god.
and it looked like they'd Googled like what does a junkie look? It was anyway, and it was not me at all. And there was no proof that so the police had just fucking believed them. Anyway, when
Jesus.
they found out that I wasn't taking heroin, that I wasn't going to grass anyone up, they put me in
Oh
hospital for a
Lord.
bit, and then it just kept going on. But it was the really terrifying bit was at home. I mean, it was terrifying with the police as well because like really quickly they
Mhm.
hated me for their plan not being right instead of like yeah how wild is that instead of
It
like being fucked
is.
we made a really yeah my sister didn't get me a solicitor which really messed me over and this is the one I didn't grow up with
Oh
um
my god.
and yeah and I haven't spoken to her so I've no idea what she's got to say to her for herself um anyway so but the really horrific things happened so my first arrest was
Yeah.
that was really awful. I was kept in hospital. Sorry, I was kept in the police station for because you're only supposed to be there for 24 hours. It's PACE, police and evidence something. I can't, police and criminal evidence act. I think it is, but it's PACE. Um,
Yeah.
uh, because they were waiting for me to go into withdrawal. But I mean, I had no idea what they were waiting, and I didn't know because I didn't know they were going to try and say I was crazy. And sorry for using that word, but okay, delusional. But I mean, that was the diagnosis. So,
Yeah.
but I'm really not trying to be ableist. I will use
No,
those words, and they were really used in hospital. It was the most bigoted, sexist place. But yeah, the misogyny in hospital was wild. It was like, yeah, anyway, so that was the first arrest. Then I came out. Oh yeah, so I made that's what I was going to say. I made a big mistake because I was there. No one knew I was there. They hadn't told anyone at that point. Even yeah, I had contact with no one, and I genuinely thought they might kill me because I do
oh
know people who
no.
died in cells. There was this one, and they wouldn't wear masks, and then some of them did wear masks. And there's one guy, and I've seen him since. He's got incredibly blue eyes, and he's got a massive scar down his. And of course, I was absolutely terrified and traumatized. I really thought he looked like a serial killer, and I've seen him
Oh my
since, and he still
god.
looks like it. Not quite as bad as I thought, but he still does look like. I can see why I thought that.
Oh
Anyway,
my god.
so I flooded the cell, which really, really pissed off the custody sergeant. And then later he realised that I was really scared. I said I was just trying to get attention, like no one was listening to me. I wanted a solicitor or something. Anyway, so I never got to see a solicitor, and I was put in hospital for a little bit. Then I went
Damn.
home. That I wasn't. Um, yeah, I was just allowed to go home. Then I was arrested immediately afterwards um, for harassment. Still not any. I
What?
mean, there's never been. I mean, I'm the one with loads. I'd never. I was the one being terrorised, and that's when it got really bad after that. So I was chased. So I had a bicycle. Really liked it. It was a Dawes bicycle. I was chased on that by a little white car. I never saw who was
Uh-huh.
driving. And that's when I knew it wasn't just the people upstairs. I mean, I knew they were part of the community, but that's when I knew that. they had told other people, and there was a whole bunch of people after me. So because
Mm.
also there's this house, and down the road, like literally 3 houses down, there's a barber's that both windows, one goes onto the road that I lived on, and one goes on to Argyle Road, which is the road that Froggy lives on. So it's got two, and he's part of the cult, which I realised quite quickly. And also, I saw him going in and out of their house. So I've been watching them obviously for a while. I've been living there, and I knew there was something massively wrong with them. Um, but I didn't know how long it would go on. So then I was arrested for. So I don't know why they did, because I mean they couldn't have gone, and they didn't go to court. Um, but I think they just wanted me. Yeah, I don't know why they did it, but yes, I was arrested literally immediately. Um, it was that same night um, for harassment, um, and then Froggy. So and then Froggy went to Jamaica for 2 weeks to take Ajax's body home and be and his that's where he was laid to rest. And then they not left me alone, but they didn't do it. So in retrospect, I think they thought that Froggy might hit them also. I don't know. But they wanted to cover up what they did. But he didn't stop. That's it. Shit. He was so
Shit.
all this is a trigger warning. I should have said that. So he was peeping
No,
that
forgot.
night. He masturbated, and I saw him. So my back window, they had this bloody great electric bike, and he used to peep into my window, using like pretending to be doing something to the bike. But what he oh god, um, I put cameras there. I had to put cameras at the front and back. I mean, otherwise I would
How the fuck you would do
be
that?
yeah. I had to do it anyway. Yes, I'd forgotten that. I hadn't forgotten that he'd done it, but I'd forgotten it was that night, and I reported it. Um, and but I mean, they weren't listening to anything I said. He also so when Foggy came back, that was when I was chased by the car. My bike was stolen. He stalked me to the local shop and was caught by. She's still my friend. Sarita saw him, and she'd known he'd tried to hit me, but she was like, she just saw him, and I remember her mouth falling open and just going, "Oh my god!" And I sort of hid round the back, and she told the police, and this is on CCTV. Him stalking, and I never know what she actually saw, but she knew it was something sexually motivated. And they're like 20 years younger than me, by the way. Not that that's anything to do with it, but I mean, it's just bizarre. But I'm
That's
starting to think maybe it's because Froggy was black. Anyway, I don't want to think too much about his like his sexual deviant problems, to be honest. Anyway,
yeah,
um, yeah, then I was like, it was some really crazy stuff. They don't wear exactly a uniform, these people in the cult, but I started being able to, or the fundamental, yeah, the cult, I might as well say.
yeah,
I could spot them. They would wear, the women sort of wore sort of long, sort of almost hippie-ish dresses. Um, yeah, anyway, I could spot them. And
mhm,
like I would see people like that all the time. Then um, and they would sort of be walking past the garden. They were obviously watching me, all that kind of thing. I mean, there were bloody loads of them, and it does sound really crazy. And then they did
okay.
loads of things, like they stole a plant, they stole my bike. One of the worst things they did was so I had 3 cats at that time, and one of the cats was,
Not
I
the
don't know what happened.
cats.
The vet said he was either kicked really badly or he was thrown from a height, and he had 2 hernias. Yeah, Titch. That I had to rehome them. That's partly why getting Callie the cat has been such a big deal, because
Oh my god.
yeah, that was really really awful. I've got photos of all this, but it's really not nice. I thought he was going to die. Yeah, that was really awful. He came in through his cat flap, hit just his front legs, and couldn't make it any further.
Mm,
Anyway, then I was feeding him just like water and a cotton wool. Anyway, he did make it, but And then the most terrifying, and this is when I got locked up in hospital for quite a while. And this was, I was in MR chat all through this.
Yeah.
um, and in the Discord, I had loads of evidence. I think Autumn's done something with that room now, because I was
Yeah.
actually, I was taking photos and keeping it in there. I mean, I wasn't well. There were times because I was being kept awake, and I was absolutely being terrorized. So the worst, this most scary thing happened. So I was at
Oh,
home one
that's good.
day. Oh yeah, also this. Oh yeah, there were loads of other little things. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was at home one day, and I saw a van pull up, and I thought that looks like a police van, but it didn't fit and didn't feel. Yeah, um, didn't sort of feel. Well, I didn't look too hard. And then I heard the knock at the door, and I thought that's not a police knock. But I think they were trying to pretend, they were trying to give that impression. And I had a
Mm,
look, and I was like, "That's not the police." And I ran out the back. I left my flat open. I'd been keeping the back door open, which also really pissed them off. But I needed to. For the reason I needed to make a quick escape, because at the front there was like some steps that they could have. Because I was completely like surrounded, but they were on top of me. It was awful. They could hear either entrance I went in or out. They were on top of me. I could hear it was, yeah, horrendous. Anyway, I rang my sister who lived down the road, and I said, there's someone here. I said, I don't think it's the police, but like I'm coming down. She said, all right. She would walk up. So I went flying down, and then they realised that I'd gone, and they started to, well, I went a different way. Then they realised I'd gone, and they saw me, and they chased me, and for the first time, because they were also anti-maskers. So these weren't my neighbours upstairs, who are called Zana and Chris Harlow. I've seen him since he was. These were a couple of people from his like community, from their community house. They had masks, like pandemic masks on, first time ever. Um, and they pulled the van over, and I think they were about to drag me in when they saw my sister, and they
oh,
drove off.
shit.
That was absolutely terrifying. And then later that day, I got and I was, yeah, the police did it just to torment me, because you're not even supposed to be
That's
taken to a
fucked
police
up.
station if they decide you're not well enough to be. You're not supposed to be taken to a police station. You're supposed to be taken to a hospital, or they can take you
Yeah.
to this, they call it a place of safety. Anyway, and that's when I was put in hospital for quite a long time, and because they thought I was making up their religious beliefs. And then
What?
yes, yeah,
What?
yeah, that's what they said. It's not funny,
I
I
know. It's
mean,
like, what the
it's
hell is
a, yeah,
going on?
yeah. They said I had persistent delusional disorder. And then, of course, they found out afterwards and quickly changed it. And I had to make a complaint. They never looked at my medical records when I got out. They said that they didn't know that I brought up my children. I did. I've got two daughters. I never lost custody of them. They said I'd never had
Oh,
had a
goodness.
job, which is all. They completely invented my life.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, shit, that's terrible. Fuck the
and it
police
didn't
for
stop
that.
there. It didn't
Mm.
stop there. I never got locked. I never got put in hospital. I mean, and that was really terrifying. In fact, I bought some heroin and I kept it in my house for a year, because I would 100%
Yeah.
take that and go back to hospital. That not even, and I still maintain that it was the most. Yeah, I would rather be in prison. I have seen the way they treated people, and it was really dangerous. They gave someone else my medication one time, and because I was traumatized, but I was completely compass mentis. If I'd been on a higher dose, that would have killed her, and there was never any repercussions. It was really, really awful. Anyway, so it didn't stop there. So I got out of hospital and quite quickly. So I had, lots of complaints to make and things like that. But I quite quickly started
Hmm.
working in a place with vulnerable people. So also they had said I was a threat to their children, which is really horrific. Um, and of course, no basis on that, and
Oh
no evidence or
no.
anything. So that's had to be cleared up. Yeah, so it's just so bizarre that I very quickly got a place working with vulnerable addicts. So I was a recovery worker, and then the council, who are my landlords, they carried on with this thing saying that I wasn't well enough to live alone. And I was actually doing work for the council at this, how correct, yeah. So
Oh
then the
my.
council took an injunction out on me that so then I went to this charity, countersued the council, which I eventually run. But meanwhile, I carried on being, so I'm trying to think, when I got out in February 2021, I think I'd been arrested 6 times at that point. Like literally every time I would go home, I would be arrested. Or yeah, it was. um, I later found out, well, when this the council case went ahead, they'd called me a witch. They'd called me fucking, honestly, some of the yeah, I've got the council papers that I, because I do want to write about it at some point or do something. It's such a fucking mental story. Anyway, so then I was working one time. I remember actually I was moderating for David Feldman. I was dragged out, and they were hoping to lock me up again. And the police obviously hadn't been told that no, that I was never unwell and I should never have been. So they had to bring me home that time. Um, and then in May 2023, that was thank God I was on the phone. So I had just so I know I've been arrested. Sorry, I've been swatted, resulting in arrest 10 times. So I think this was the ninth, but I'm not sure. So I had been to see the Avon and Somerset Chief Constable. Her name's Sarah Crew, and she's a very good politician. Said, "Oh, I think I recognise your name." She definitely didn't recognise my name. And she said, "Oh yeah, go and anyway, she arranged for me to go and see the local people." The next time, I had an armed raid, and I had 18 armed. Well, that's how many. I don't know how many there were, but I counted 18 armed, all men. They wouldn't let me film. They wouldn't let me, and I was on the phone, thank God, because I genuinely don't think the cops were. I think I wasn't supposed to make it out of there, and I know that's
Yeah.
speculation, but that was really, really because we don't have guns in England. So, I mean, obviously we have guns, people hunt and things like, and there's gangs and stuff like that, but it's not like being spotted in the state. I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, that was really, really terrible. So I was on the phone, um, and they came storming down again, always down these bloody steps. God, I used to get yeah, so scared if I saw well any footsteps down those things down those steps. Um, yeah, so I was on the phone. I think I just yeah, I was going to say I don't think MR actually featured in that one or not that night. Um, and yeah, all these guys, and I could see the commander
Your
realizing the
chat,
behaves
yeah.
very quickly. But these young guys were apps. They were terrified. They were so hyped up. Um, and I had to de-escalate. Anyway, they said that they wouldn't have blah blah blah. And that's said. I've got a case against them with all these things, but this is the most serious stuff. Is yeah. Uh, wrongful that yeah, I've got a whole list of things, but that was probably the first arrest was the most terrifying. This one it was terrifying later on because I couldn't take it seriously at the time. It was almost like, come on, don't be ridiculous. um but I had to de-escalate them, and they were really young guys as well, and they came in and they opened my fridge because you could see it was bullshit. I mean that they had been it had been um a lie or a false allegation. I don't know what to call it. Very
Yeah.
quickly. So they came in, they like opened my fridge and they had a look and they took a hat. So I didn't look anything like the description apart from possibly having blonde hair. The hat didn't, yeah. So they took a hat and two dresses and a bag. none of which looked like. So the report was that someone had been seen with a gun moving some traffic cones and threatening someone. And they sort of changed the description of it as well as they got to me. Anyway, and then some other people that yeah, tried to find out. It all seemed very hush hush and very weird. And then one more after that.
Mhm.
Um, there was one more arrest after that. But yes, it's absolute. Um, it was terrifying. I would also these people um, they did. Do you know what imprecatory prayers are? If you Google that, I didn't know until this, and I found it out actually through what's the guy that used to be on David Feldman's
Uh,
show?
um,
The Reverend something. Anyway, they did. It's like a Christian curse, and they did. So a whole bunch of them came, and they did this like singing and chanting until 5 o'clock in the morning. So they would do things like that. I would, as soon as they would hear me leaving, they would come running out. And so, in the end, I would just have to film myself going in. And I never ever spoke to them again after, not a single word. And they would say that I said these things. They were just making it up. Um, but everyone got so invested in just believe because they believed them, and it's incredible seeing sort of like adults, people in quite serious um, places of authority just really shitting themselves or just not doing the right thing at all. So I knew that the neighbours were as bad as they were, and thank God I knew the police were, but I was very surprised about the medical profession. That's who I was most disappointed, and um, to not read, just to listen to what the police said and to not read someone's
mhm.
medical records. And yeah, and for the police, I don't know. I don't. So that so many people lied. I don't know who said what about what. Um,
Yeah. I
anyway,
mean,
so this police, so sorry, my case against the council for my housing went on and on and on and on, but eventually they settled it in my favour, and I've now got a really nice flat around the corner because I also wanted to stay in the area, and they were desperate to get me out of the area. But I mean, I'm still friends with the guy that the police wanted in the first place. Everyone round here knows what happened to me, and they know why. They know I was never a danger. They know, so yeah, I like it round here. Bristol's a small city. Sorry, my voice is it's been really bad since Cuba. I've got a croaky voice anyway, but
oh
the
shit.
fumes in Havana are like nothing I've ever smelt in my life, and it's been really bad since then. I've had a cough, and
Oh
yeah,
god.
yeah, Cuba was incredible. God, um, yeah. Anyway, so oh yeah, and the council, the council compensation actually paid for me to go to Cuba. Sorry, that just so yes. So that sorted out. They sorted out my medical records, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I've got my housing. I've got it all. Um, what a permanent tenancy. I can't be kicked out. So um, it was 4 years, 5 years of absolute real terror. Some of it was I can't even tell you. I couldn't
Yeah.
eat. I was so thin. Um, and I would hear them all the time, so I could never ever get away from them. And even if I tried to go and stay I could never settle enough. It was I couldn't be away from there, and I couldn't because I was worried about what they'd do. They were
Mhm.
very stupid. I didn't realise how. Sorry, I shouldn't say stupid. They were.
No,
I
no, it's
gave them
okay.
much more credit, I think, than because I thought they were after my flat, and I don't think they actually were. I think they were just wanted to get rid of me. Because I mean, it made sense if they wanted the flat. I think I gave them much more credit, and also anyway, I won't. give suggestions, but they could have got rid of me. I could have got rid of me
No,
in a
God, no.
way, in my opinion, a hell of a lot more easily than yeah. I mean, they were just really silly. But
Yeah.
I mean, they 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 knew they were trying to kill me. 100%. They knew what they were trying to do. Um, they were trying to get me locked up. At one point, they kept petitioning the council because I didn't know a lot of this until afterwards. I don't. Thank God, I didn't know quite a lot of it. Yeah, so they were saying I was like too unwell to. Well, I was working while I was being a recovery worker, and they knew that I was going out to work every because I wasn't there. I was following a very predictable sort of 10 till 5 working pattern. Um, and at one point, they even threw a whole load of rubbish around the garden and said it was me. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah. My God.
sorry.
That's
Have I? Because I decided not to write anything down, so I don't know if that makes if I've made enough sense.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you did make sense.
yeah. And I've not been able to find. I mean, I'm not a researcher or anything, but I've not been able to find out. So the church is called Woodlands, and it's was
Oh.
started by someone called Kerry Shook, like as in SHOOK in Texas. And as far as I
Mhm.
don't know if there's any other, but yeah. So they think any music with drums is because one of the times I was arrested for intimidating witnesses, which sounds really terrifying. And I was
Oh my God.
when I got to the police station, they said I was playing music with explicit lyrics. Yes, I was. They couldn't name me the song. They had no recording. But I was arrested for that. Yes,
God damn.
yeah.
That's
So it was
stupid.
yeah, it was kind of very petty and relentless, like doing things like, stealing a plant. How gaslighty is that? I mean, they had loads of money, it was, yeah, doing things just to fact I could see once I got the cameras, I remember when he first saw them, you could see his face was like, Jesus, now I can't
Mhm.
do these stupid things, or I can't do them so easily. But I do think they've definitely. So she turned out to be she told me she was a teacher. She turned out to be an educational policy advisor, which is quite worrying. And he
Mhm.
was a pastor, and then he got. I mean, I stopped talking to him, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, and
Yeah,
I think he
jeez.
got a job. But they go to things like universities, and well, yeah, they're really predatory. Um,
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's the Christian code. I mean, you can't get away from that shit, but unless you decide to get the fuck away from it. I mean, it's a curse.
yeah, yeah, I mean, I didn't know how long it would go on for. I don't know what but I also knew I had to go back there because I knew I had to prove he was telling them the truth. They were trying to get me to move somewhere else from the hospital, and I was like, no, I have to prove who who it is that's lying. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
I wanted to
god.
stay in this area, and like I'm really, yeah, I'm happy with the decisions I made. Yeah, I am happy. Yeah, I feel safe here, and like I say, people know what happened, and they know how. I mean, yeah, Sarita, her family own the local shop. That's who saw me. Who stalked me inside there, and she's the one that was like, "Oh my god." Um,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh my
but I've
god.
never been sure if like because I found out he converted as a teenager, so I've never been sure if they're real. I think she's probably a real believer, but I feel really sorry for those kids. They're like I don't know how so. When they move in, I think they were about 3 and 5 in 2019. So have it, and the little one he had
God
low.
damn.
Yeah, I looked after them. Um, I remember thinking I wouldn't let that. I wouldn't do it if I mean they didn't know me. I remember thinking they were really taking risks. I mean I knew I was safe, but they would. That's what they had kids for. I think it was just to rope other people in,
Mhm.
and it was part of their whole system. They hated their kids. It was awful. They yeah, they really didn't like, particularly the youngest one. That's who I both saw, and other people saw and heard them being hit as well. So, yeah,
I mean,
I can say for the
that's
first time I'm reading the chat. I didn't want to read the chat because I knew it would distract me while I was talking.
no. I
Hi,
mean, you
Gabby.
can't see the chat.
Yes, but I didn't. Yeah, yeah. Did I make sense? Sorry, I didn't
No, you
talk
did.
about it for a long time because I couldn't. I knew I couldn't make sense. I'd suddenly go, "Oh God!" and that happened, and that, and I knew I no one could understand me. And then, yes, I've not really talked about it for a while. So
Yeah. Hey, bad lovely. Yeah, you made sense because I didn't even have to ask the questions, but you
okay,
absolutely make sense.
yes. And I did think I was going to write it, and like I said, I thought I'd get too much in my head because I think partly because I'm doing the police case at the moment. In fact, that's just I've just the letter of claim went off to Avon and Somerset last week, so I'm a bit in it at the moment, and I've got loads of photos, but some of them are yeah. And I think maybe it's probably safer to wait until after the case. Although, I mean, I don't
Nice.
know what would happen if they tried to come after me because it's not like I'm lying. But to see it in like document, legal documents that calling me a witch, they
That's
went
fucked up.
to this place who deal with hate crime, who I later met through work, and I was like, yeah, it's me, I'm the witch, and it was
Yeah.
um, just bizarre. And also some of the statements I've forgotten about this. I'll try and
Oh,
dig it out, and I don't know, in a few months or when it's over, I'll read some of it because they also said some things about the Bible as though it was fact, and in court, like yes, yeah, bizarre stuff. Anyway,
mhm.
um, thank you, Gabby. Thank you, series. I've talked to Don before actually on Discord, and that was at that flat. And I used to get really packed because I didn't know. I knew what I could hear from them, and I could hear them talking if they were on because they had bedrooms on the next floor. But if they were on the floor above, I could hear them. So I was always super paranoid. I didn't know what they could hear of me. So anyway, shall I let you
Yeah.
go or
No,
thank you?
no,
I'm a
you're
good
welcome to
witch.
stay. You are welcome to
Okay.
stay.
Yes, I took it as a compliment. I've got to say, I never, and I think I did tell them I was a pig, which I've never done before. I don't know why I did that, but I think I had once. So they didn't literally pull it out of their ass, but they called me a witch, and I was like, yeah, I'll take that on.
Oh.
That's partly why my emoji's a witch. But yeah,
Oh,
autumn, midi, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people in chat. Some of them aren't
yeah,
around
yeah.
anymore, aren't in chat anymore. But yeah, they knew. And Bitprov actually came to visit me last year, when I hadn't moved out of the place long at all, and I was very traumatized. It probably wasn't the best time, but it was lovely to meet him.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yes, I'm not sure when sorry, I'm answering Don in the chat. Um, I'm not sure when I told you, but yes, more has happened. I don't know if I if I'd had the armed raid then it could have been, but I think because I was arrested, my last arrest was January 24, and that was
Oh, yeah.
for yeah the and that's also part of my case. Yes, for what was that?
The
They did
loud
it
music.
twice to me and they found me and I wasn't guilty. What was it? Which was a hate crime. Oh yes, religiously motivated harassment.
Oh,
But
shit.
yeah.
Respect for
And
the arrest.
there's never been a single piece of paper, a picture, tape. There's been nothing that they've had on their side to say anything. But it
And
was
that
quite
means
a
they
like.
have
I
no
mean,
fucking case.
no, that they're involved with. Yes, they've got some in with the
Mhm.
police. I don't know how much, but there's yeah. I don't know anyone who's had a situation quite like. I mean, I know people who've been harassed by the police, but not. I'll just be sitting at
Yeah.
home suddenly just like dragged out. It was awful, really unnerving. Because
Yeah.
it's not like even so I don't know if I was a shoplifter or a drug dealer, at least I would know that that's a possibility. But I was literally doing nothing. Um, yeah, I couldn't stop doing anything because I wasn't doing anything in the first place. Yeah, really, really horrific. But yeah, it was them that was the most frightening. I was more frightened. The first arrest was definitely, and because I'd not been sleeping, I mean, I was definitely on the edge of psychosis. I can look back and see the way I looked at things, and I was got very superstitious. But I genuinely, I mean, they were trying to kill me, and I was, yeah, and I made some very stupid decisions when I got out as well. Just, yeah, it's kind of thinking, oh, well, I didn't die, so I might do some really nuts
Oh,
things. But
God.
yeah, everything's sort of calmed down now. And yeah, Cuba, I've had a really, yeah, but I've been really quite down since I've come back. It did affect me. I met some really nice people, and
Mhm.
leaving people um, to what felt like their fate was difficult.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, I'm feeling a bit better now, and yes, I don't. I would like this police case to go to court, but I'm 100% sure it won't because they've got nothing, so they'll probably settle.
That is so fucking simple.
Oh
Just like
yeah,
that Troy Get Out.
they also I forgot to mention this. They insulted me all the way out as well when they hadn't got their little way and they couldn't find their gun. And I was saying, "Can I have your badge number? Can I have what station you're from?" Which is all legal stuff. You're allowed to, yeah, because I'm a legal observer. Yeah, and after that, I
Mm.
got involved in police accountability stuff, and I'm still doing that. Yeah, they would know. And they were like saying, "Oh no, you're dangerous. I'm not giving you money." It was really pathetic. Like it was, it was like these kids, and they did look really like young kids. And I had to make sure like don't escalate because I did want to insult them, and I've done that too many
Mm.
times before. I've been a real sort of Karen with them and just like humiliated them, and it doesn't do me any favors. But this time they had guns, and I was on the phone with someone who kept me calm, so that was good. But yeah, I
Mm,
can be a
that's
right bitch
that
to police. um,
I mean, that last part you just said, that makes me good, but the kids part, oh my god, that really touches my heart, and that makes me so sad about, having the kids learning to die. I mean,
yeah,
it's completely shocking. I
they're full
don't know
on
what to say.
Zionists as well.
Yeah.
Like they're Christian Zionists as well. They're anti-Semitic. I did think that got. I mean, I remember feeling significantly worse because I was still there when in October 23, and because I knew what their views were, and I remember thinking they actually want this. Um, yeah, I've never met anyone like it. They're the most dangerous people, and yeah, they're vile people. And in fact, all the other neighbours don't like them either. And even I've still got the same postman, and I remember once when I was there, he tried to give me a parcel for them, and I said no. I said I'm not taking that. I said there's I saw something like anyway. So when I'm like, we got a lot. What's his name? Neil. We got a lot and sort of chat. Anyway, he teases me when he comes here, and he'll say, "Oh." oh, I bought this from Brigstock Road, might be a bomb in it. Yeah, but they're that obvious. They're like not liked. They don't know how to fit in the area. I think they really thought they were going to be sort of missionaries instead of, because they did. I later found out they, got a few people to go to their little course, although no one continued. I just remember one of the people that did has split up from her husband, is now living with a woman, which is right opposite them. Yeah, so yeah, they did. I think that's what. Yeah, I think they think that they're going to convert people, and then
Hmm.
it didn't work out like that. So open the
Yeah.
website with God's word, the Spirit's power, and fervent prayer in God's name. Yeah,
Uh,
they are. Thank you. I didn't know how brave I was. Actually, I didn't have much choice in some of it. I
yeah.
didn't think, God, how am I still alive? So, I mean, I've got to say, when I was being chased by cars like that happened, that was really scary. And just
Mhm.
even just whenever I'd want to go out, I'd have to sort of play a game, to just not. Or if I was in a rush, like I'd just be like picking up my keys and going out, and this, I'd suddenly hear these footsteps above trying to. I mean, yeah, it was awful. But
Mhm.
um, yeah. Anyway, I feel like I've been talking about it too much now. I will keep you updated about the police
Please
case, though.
do. Please
Um,
do.
yeah, I'm going to have a spliff now. Shall I jump out and go into the chat? Or,
Okay.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all
Thank you
right.
very much.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. It was so glad to have you on. Hope we get to hear about the case soon. And
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you.
Choki's around the chats. And
Yeah,
next
sorry,
time
I
you'll
just launched into that without giving you the chance to ask me
no,
questions, but
no, okay, yeah. I might have some questions for you because
yeah, that's
chat's
fine. I
been
can say that.
so when did you escape the religion, the Catholic cult?
Oh, I wasn't ever in the cult, so um,
Uh,
I was brought up a Catholic. They hate Catholics, so no, they bought the house upstairs, so I wasn't actually part of their religion. They did try and get me into it, and that was one of the. So yeah, I was my yeah come from an Irish kettle. My dad's family are Irish Catholic, and I went to a convent school. And that was one of the first things they told me, actually. And I thought, oh, you're right out there with your bigotry.
my
They said,
God.
oh, we don't like Catholics. They thought that was a way to get it. Like they thought I was anti. I don't, which I don't. I've got Chris. Yeah, I'm an atheist, but they said that yeah, they're anti-Catholic and they sing anti-Catholic songs to their kids. So that was one. And I was like,
What?
I didn't say it, and I was like, you're right out there with your bigotry. Yeah, so it was kind of like little things creeping up that they kept trying to get, and they kept putting these things through my door. Come to this thing called the Alpha Course. I think Russell Brand might have done it, but I know that Bear Grylls guy. I know he does the Alpha Course, and he's a complete freak.
Oh, oh, Russell Brand is such a bastard. I hate
Yes,
him.
but so all of this was after all my but that's what I used to call them, was the Alpha Christians, because I thought they were all part of the same thing, but they're not exactly. They're very similar, um, but they run this thing called the Alpha Course, but their church is actually separate. But yeah, Bear Grylls christened or baptized, sorry, Russell Brand, because
Oh
he's part of the
God.
Alpha Course.
I
Um,
mean, dude, such a douchebag. I can tell you that. But let me address this message from Captain Trips G7W. I kicked him out. said, "What is this stupid blabbling bitch I'm watching?" You know what?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, you saw that? I kicked him out?
No, I didn't see it.
Well, I kicked him out. Well, you can address it.
What is that stupid bitch? What was it babbling on about?
Yes, it
I
says,
was
"What
babbling
is
on about
this?"
almost being murdered by police and some fundamentalist Christians.
Mhm.
That's what I was
Yes,
babbling on
so
about.
that's it.
And yes, I
I
can be a
know.
right fucking bitch. So
Yeah. Fuck yeah. And that's and that is your parting word, troll. Don't ever come in here and insult my fucking guests.
thank you, Lee. Yes, cheeky bastard.
Mm, what a huge
But yes,
bastard.
I do have a croaky voice. Yeah, Havana syndrome.
I mean,
They do
oh, you're
know
like
about
me.
Havana syndrome over there. I asked them, and they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
They think it's funny, and they didn't. All the ones I mean, there was two guys that I got, two Cuban guys that I was got friendly with. They didn't know about the Tupac conspiracy, and I really tried to get that one going. There was a guy that looked like him at the bus station, and he actually had "All Eyes on Me" T-shirt, um, and but I didn't get a photo.
Oh, yeah. Um, I think Randy G asked earlier about this being a Christian demotion or something. I just got here. That was a question in the chat. If you saw that
Christian
earlier.
denomination. Is
Yeah.
that what they meant? Um, what did they call themselves when I heard them? Because they told me like nearly everything they told me face to face was a lie. So I later found out
Oh.
in kind of papers and things, or when we went to court. But they also lied in court. So yeah, they just called themselves an independent. I mean, the magistrates hadn't heard of it. They just called themselves
Yeah.
an independent
I
evangelical
mean,
church. Oh yeah, that was it. So
yeah.
sorry, this just reminded me. So the reason that they decided to, or the one, and I totally said it as well. So one of the reasons they decided to bring it as all they want, well, it was because of hate crime. They could get me moved. That was why. But so the insult was evangelical, but what they'd heard me talking outside, and 100% said it as well. What
Oh,
did I say? I
Jesus.
said he's just a typical repressed evangelical, and I said it outside my flat, and they had their window open, and I did say it, and they heard me. So that was, and then they had, and then in court they had to say, "Is evangelical, is that a term of hatred?" And they had to say no. So yeah,
I
and then
mean,
they did it, and then they tried to do it, take me to court for it again, and that time they were just like, "No, don't, don't even try it." Um,
thank you, good for
thank you,
Gabby.
Gabby. I'm super conscious of my voice, but I generally um, am anyway, to be honest.
The American evangelicals. Oh my God. Reference, do not get us started with the American evangelicals.
Well, that's what they are. That they're from Texas, and but they're
Oh,
also,
yeah.
I mean, it's a prosperity. I mean, they're buying properties all over the place. So I don't know how much is a scam and how much. I mean, some of them are definitely believers. I think she probably is a believer, and she was brought up into it. But I mean, I mean, what can you tell whether someone believes it or not?
Shit, I couldn't
Um,
even tell that.
yeah.
Oh, reference friend, give you a nice compliment saying, you have a nice voice,
Oh,
Chucky.
thank
No,
you.
no need to be
Thank you.
self-conscious. I love your accent. Oh, wow. Damn, that's a nice compliment. Thank you so much.
My
I'm
accent
loving
change.
the compliments.
Yes, my accent changes a lot. I've got to say, when I lived in London, you'd think I was a Londoner, and I met someone on holiday that had and I was the only person that could understand them, and I started getting back into it. Um, yes,
Oh,
I've got a
the
very just a
tower?
neutral sort of south southern English
Mhm.
accent. I don't have a yeah one
Uh,
from a particular place maybe.
yeah. So, yeah. Is the tower you're living is that near London? I don't
It's not that far. It's it takes I don't know what it is on the actually on miles or kilometres, but it takes about 90 minutes on a train or driving.
mm,
I'm near Cardiff in Wales. That's yeah, we're
okay.
the English city that's closest to Wales. And yeah, like I didn't know this till recently. We were the first place Bob Marley ever. So yeah, we've got a massive Afro Caribbean, particularly Jamaican uh, area here. Yeah, we were, and that's just down the road as well. It was the first place that Bob Marley played at. So, I don't know if it was outside of Jamaica or in the UK, but one of the two, which I
Oh,
only found out when I was
Bonbon.
in Cuba. Um, oh
Mm-mm.
no, it wasn't Montreal. It was Toronto. Wanted to, I took a picture of this. It was at the airport. It was only so it was not even two whole slices of bread. It was two triangles with egg and cress. I think it was brown bread. I'm not sure. It was 14.99 Canadian dollars and then $2 tax. How crazy is that?
That that shit's crazy.
Yeah,
That shit's crazy. All for that?
yeah. I didn't buy
Oh
it. I
my
did take a
god.
picture of it. I've talked more about this sandwich at the airport than I have about being in Cuba. Um, I've also ghosted. Not, I've not tried to ghost. I didn't. I haven't. But I have not spoken to anyone in Cuba for about a month now, and I feel really bad. And it's because I'm scared. I've got to do that. And it's also I haven't shared my pictures because I haven't wanted to look at them. It's just I don't know. I think it's partly all of this stuff. It was
Mhm,
a really scary 4 years, and I knew exactly what they wanted to do. And yeah, yeah, when I had the case against the council. So Shelter, they used to be really radical actually, and then they turned into a charity. They're still a good charity. They do housing rights and stuff. So that's who I went to. They took the council's court when I was first there. They went, "Can't you just move?" They were like completely overwhelmed, and then they saw what was happening, and they I was working in the same building from them, so they actually saw me like the day after I got arrested. They were like, "Jesus." What did I
jeez.
say? Shit, there was a reason that I started talking about this. Now
Mm.
I've lost my train of thought.
Oh, no, it's
Um,
fine.
yeah, sorry, I've forgotten what the train of thought was. It might come back to me.
Um,
Um, damn, yeah, sorry.
holy moly. Wow. Um, so, um, I was raised JW was never enforced upon me, Donald James X. That's
They're
his
at least
story.
not racist, but I know they're really anti. So there's quite a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses in um, Bristol. They're really anti-education though. They I had a friend and they wouldn't take their kids to school, um, and then they would go and do the door knocking, that what's it called, the watchtower stuff, and they but if it wasn't
Damn.
forced on you, then yeah, that's probably the most common one round here is Jehovah's Witnesses. Um,
Damn. So you mean to tell
do
me
you
that
have
the kids couldn't go to school?
yeah, they're very yeah, they're very anti-education.
Oh my god. I mean, that's a damn shame.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
if you look at it, I mean, they're poorly and uneducated, just like most of us in the States, for fucking Trump supporters. I mean, I don't know how the hell they got educated, but look at us in the States. We've got so many uneducated people.
They've
Mm,
been doing
I
it the
love
same
Trump.
here. They've been cutting educates. It's exact. We've done exactly the same. Followed the
Mm,
same playbook as Reagan. I mean, Thatcher followed the same. It's just I think we were in a slightly better position. We had a lot of public housing in the
oh
80s.
yeah.
I mean, we had a national health service. I mean, we've barely got one. I mean, I don't think people realise how bad the NHS is now. It is really on its last legs, and I'm old enough to remember when it was functional. I mean, it had lots of there's massive things wrong with it. I mean, even when it was functional, but I mean, defunding and selling off to private companies has been awful.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes, big cat. Do all the things. Hello, my dear. How are you?
Hi, BCAT.
So yeah, let's see. So yeah, I mean, fuck Reagan. He's the president that took the states to hell, and
Yeah,
we're stuck in this shit right now. Um, as you know, we're in Trump 2.0, and there's a war going on.
really terrifying. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. By buddy Israel, buddy Netanyahu. Oh, he's my little buddy. I love him so much. He's gonna be my next boyfriend. I love him to death.
that's a very
That's
good
the
imitation.
best. Mhm, thank you. That's one of my Trump impersonations. I don't know if I can do Netanyahu. I can't do that.
No,
I mean,
that's quite a tricky one. No,
yeah.
and would you
I
want
mean,
to?
it's tricky.
He personifies evil in a way that I don't know. Trump personifies excess, but like Netanyahu looks evil.
Like
I know
this, he
that's
looks
incredibly
evil.
subjective.
Oh, he
Um,
looks definitely evil.
I
But
know, yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's a massive psychic injury to all of us that are paying attention. I'm not saying obviously it's not anything like being on the front lines or having to deal with you know losing your homes, losing your losing everything, but like having to witness it and do nothing and or you know or do direct action and this and what you've got against you is so massive. Yeah, it's horrific.
I
um
mean, shit.
did
Look
you
what's
think he
going on
might
there.
actually do you think he might actually bomb Iran?
Well, he might bomb Iran. That might be my answer, yes, because we all know he's a fucking madman like Trump, and he's already, you know, crossed the line on the quote unquote ceasefire
No,
because
sorry,
he
I
didn't
meant
live up to
did
the
you think he might
promise.
do that? Do you think Trump might have done that bombing? What was his tweet? Bombing them back to the stone or getting rid of a civilization. There were a few tweets. I didn't
I mean,
actually. I think
had he
Netanyahu's way more likely to, for sure.
had he done that, everything would have been gone in Iran,
I know.
and they would have been like quote unquote sent back to the Stone Ages. It would be wonderful and amazing. Open the fucking straits, you crazy bastards. I mean, my social media team told me to not post that, but I told them to fuck off. I did it anyway. I didn't listen.
I think Trump's more of a coward. I don't know. I don't think he's got it. Netanyahu, I think, has got it in him. I think
Mhm.
Trump is. He's very impulsive though, and he's getting more. Sorry, keep trying to. He's getting more unhinged in as his dementia or whatever it is that
Amnesia.
yeah people just older people just dementia. Yeah.
Oh god.
Did you think Bad Lefty? Did you think he was going to do it on Tuesday? Do I sound horribly English? Does Bad Lefty might hate me now because I've got an
What?
English accent. I should have done my Cornish accent, shouldn't I? Actually, I haven't done one for such a long time. I probably couldn't pull it off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
I
did think
love
he was going to
that.
do it on Tuesday, but that was entirely vibes based, nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what Bad Lefty sounds like? I yeah, I've never heard Bad Lefty. I know what Don sounds like.
Oh yeah, we all know what Don sounds like. I think Bad
Oh,
Lefty
God, damn it! Yes, of
is.
course, of course.
I think Bad Lefty is Irish.
He is. That's why he would hate me because I mean, people don't think I'm English, though. People have
Yeah,
actually,
you're
I mean, not
English.
not English speak, not English is the first language speakers, but both in oh God, I was going to say Palestine. I have been to Palestine actually.
Oh
Both in Egypt and Cuba, people thought I wasn't English. I was like, yes,
yeah.
I was very pleased. Oh, I've seen Bad Lefty write an Irish accent in chat, so I think, but I've no idea what his tone sounds like or anything.
Damn, I've seen that a lot too. I mean, most times I don't understand the meaning of what he puts in the Irish accent.
Oh, yeah, yeah. By the way, Irish people don't say top of the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know Americans do think that, and also we don't ever say St. Patty's Day. It's Paddy's Day. That's it. Or St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, and that's why St.
Yeah,
Patrick's Day is commercialized.
yeah, it's not like that here. And I mean, I haven't spent a St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, but it's and you obviously yes, okay, people are aware of it, but it's nothing like we do the states. Yeah, see,
Yes, I was terrified he would, but honestly, he would have set the global economy on fire and have all these people and are about money. That drives me mental. Oh God, man, Lefty.
that oh, what was I? God, but I'm having my first alcohol since Cuba.
Oh
I
yeah.
got a Guinness Punch, which is Guinness, and it sounds horrible, but it's really nice. Guinness Stout, and you put Dunn's River Nourishment, which is sort of like a protein drink, but it's a Jamaican one anyway. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Guinness Punch. It feels
Mm.
more like I was gonna. What was I gonna say? It's Bad Lefty. Oh no, I wasn't gonna say it. But I thought, like, I think loads of people thought Kamala would. I think a lot of that was when people thought that she'd win. Is it Kamala? Kamala? I didn't get it
Kamala,
right, but I
Kamala,
generally
Kamala.
say Kamala. Kamala, that's it. You say it?
Yeah,
Kamala,
Kamala.
that's it. I know I say we say Kamala over here, but I know it's wrong. Um,
Yeah.
I think people were so relieved when she took it. I think quite a lot of the reason people were hopeful, I thought that was a lot of that was relief. And I remember thinking that Trump had caused such a mess. I thought that the business people would rather go with another Biden type or that, yeah.
But
And then when he got shot, I thought, fuck, he's going to win. I remember that.
oh fuck.
So,
But that's when, you know, Kamala didn't say shit about Palestine and kicked most Palestine supporters out of her own speech at the DNC in
yeah, that was,
Chicago.
and having Liz Cheney, that was an absolute, yeah. I've got to say, I wouldn't have voted. Not, I'm obviously British and don't have a, but I wouldn't have voted for the Dems. I couldn't have done it. Voted for people committed genocide. No, I couldn't have
Yeah,
voted for Labour either, and didn't. Um,
I mean
yes,
that's
but that didn't actually make. I don't know if it's, isn't that a kind of false? blaming? I mean, or did that have a big enough effect? I thought
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I thought it wasn't. I thought that was a kind of thing that the Democratic Party liked to blame, but hadn't actually been borne out by the. Um, I mean, it
The
should. I mean, they had no platform, and they fucking. Yeah, they didn't deserve to win at all.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just thought that he might be too manic for sort of like business markets and things. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Such I mean, had Kamala said something about Palestine, or let Palestine supporters in and not have Liz Cheney, her ass would have won. But no. She
I
had
think Biden did her.
celebrities.
Yeah, Biden did her no favors though, did he? I mean,
Uh-uh.
he was.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'd probably blame him more than her, to be honest.
That's right.
I'm stoned. That drop always cracks. And do you remember the one? Listen, fat, when he was running against Trump the first time.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Uh,
yeah. He should. I mean, he should know.
like, will you shut up, man?
God.
Let me talk, Jack.
Uh,
That's my Biden impersonation.
yeah, yeah. He
Uh,
shouldn't be so seriously. Do you think?
but
Do you guys
yeah.
think Trump? Yes, I do think he will pull the US out of NATO.
Oh, thanks. But when Biden came out as a Zionist, I was like, fuck it. That's it. No.
Wasn't he always as that? Like I thought he was always a very, and also he's anti-abortion, isn't he?
Oh
He's not even
yeah.
Irish. Isn't that? He's not even Irish. I
What?
know he says he's not. I remember checking it. Or it's the legend is so distant that he's
So he's not Irish.
no, like check it, but I'm pretty sure um I
I'm
checked.
just- Oh, let me check this. Biden Irish. Uh, so is Biden Irish? Mm-mm, no, Irish. Um.
He's a West Brit. That's what we
Oh,
call right wing. In yeah, Irish right wingers are called West Brits.
so what I'm looking at is it says, according to Google's AI, it says yes, Joe Biden has extensive Irish ancestry and
Maybe.
strongly identifies with his Irish American heritage.
Oh, I know that he strongly identifies, but I don't. I could be wrong, but I remember it, and it was definitely around 2020. I looked it up, and it was very yes. A lot
Oh
of the
shit.
strongly identifies, less of the actual. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah, you might be wrong. I mean, um, oh BK, yeah, and the racists are still frothing a mouth about Obama to this day. Mm-hmm.
I definitely didn't realize that how much that was a thing until kind of paying attention to Majority Report. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And oh no, no Irishman is a Zionist.
That's
What
true.
reality? Oh yeah. Uh, Joe Biden is Irish. Yeah, of course. Genocide Joe can never have the Irish spirit. Huh? Huh? I didn't know he had never had Irish spirit. Oh, he's an American first.
yeah, and also the fact that so many um, police in the states that are like that. That
Oh,
also
God.
didn't go. Yeah, then the ex Nilo showed me some Irish festival, and yeah, it's very distant from kind of what actually Ireland is. I mean, bad lefty can say way more than I can, but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
they know what it was like to be colonised. They are being colonised. They're victims of imperialism, whereas American Irish are the benefits of it.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Um,
Well, thanks, Biden. Zionist? Nihilist? First? Bad lefty? What the hell's a Zionist? Nihilist?
Zionist.
Oh,
Yeah,
Zionist. Ah, bad lefty. I get you. I get you, bud. Trying to sneak that in so because, I get my ass confused. Oh, I'm kind of excited we might get some sympathies with primary say. I'm really paying attention to the primaries. Eh, uh, well, if there are primaries, if there's a presidential election, if the Mad King would die, hoping that JD Vance will not be getting the presidential chair. Oh, God, Mr. Couch Fucker.
yeah. Abdul Saad was good, wasn't he? That's the first time I've heard him. I've got to say, I am pretty out of electoral politics. I mean, I vote, but am involved in kind of stuff here, mutual aid stuff here, and um, activist organising things. I haven't done direct. I'm too. I've got to say, I'm too scared after what I went through to do some
Oh, you do?
direct action stuff. And yeah, also Bristol's quite a lefty, so it is a lefty city. It's quite a radical city in some ways. But we've got a massive
Nice.
arms factories here. We've got the biggest weapons manufacturer in Europe. We've got Rolls Royce. I hate Filton itself. It's a few miles from here. Filton Patchway's the cop shop, and then there's Rolls Royce. There's Elbit Systems, which are Israeli. BAE. Who else? All of the worst. Yeah. So we get a lot of
Yeah.
people coming down to actually do actions here. Yes, yeah, Lefty, we do have them. Um,
JD
oh, did you know?
Couch.
Did you know? Do you know who Oswald Mosley is? He was the British fascist leader in the 30s. His grandson
Oh,
is now head of Palantir UK. How fucking scary is that?
oh,
So
fuck.
they were
Oh, my
always
God.
Nazis. Yeah,
He was probably before Hitler started,
well,
bombing the hell out of Britain.
He was a contemporary of Hitler's. Yeah,
Oh,
so he
okay.
was trying to get um, England on the British Union fascists. That's it. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, the black
Okay.
shirts.
Oh, the black shirts.
Yeah,
That's fucked up. I would not be living in that time. Thank God. But
yeah.
holy
And the
hell.
fact that his grandson is head of Palantir UK. Yeah, that's
Damn.
isn't that what I said? Bad lefty British Union fascists. I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
I did originally say the British Fascist Party. I think no.
Oh, damn. I didn't know the British had fascists there. I
In the
thought the States
30s
was.
we did. Well, we still have now, but yes, yeah.
Oh
Churchill was
my
quite well. Yeah,
God.
okay, he wasn't a fascist, but yeah, I don't see much. He wasn't in. He wasn't in the BUF, but yeah, he was. He was undoubtedly a very proud racist.
Oh my God. That's fucked up. How could they? How could he? That's fucked
Yeah,
up. That's a shame. Alright. Um, I and got one more question, chat, before I gotta let it go because I know you got stuff to do. Um,
yeah, we've
let's
been going
see.
quite a long time, haven't we? Sorry, I didn't mean. Well, I didn't know how long we we would have.
Yeah.
I really
um,
appreciate it. Thank you,
hey,
really.
no problem. Okay. Um, remember she is around the chats. Um, and before we go, wait, are you still monitoring David Feldman?
Me, no. Well, I don't think so. Well, he was pissing me off. Lots of things. Oh God, yeah. There was a whole Discord thing with that as well. He became quite a lot, quite a bit of a misogynist, and then he came out as a Zionist, and I was like, no, I can't be asked. I wonder because he hasn't really been on them. He's definitely been on MR
Yeah,
since
he's
October the 7th, but he hasn't been on it as much as, yeah, I wonder how. Yeah, in fact,
I wonder.
um, Don asked him outright, which is brave of him, I think. Donald
Yeah.
asked.
I
But
mean, I
it
wonder.
was the misogyny that I saw and that I pissed me off, first of all.
Oh shit.
I can't
I
remember what
didn't
happened
know.
actually. Yeah, there was some drama with some people in his Discord, and because he was doing that office hours. Yeah, I can't actually remember the whole thing.
Oh shit.
Did you
Matt
see Matt
Bernstein
Bernstein
was.
was in Bernstein? How do you say it in the state? I know I say too many things. Yeah, Bob's still a mod there. I'm pretty
With
sure I'm not a
Abdul.
mod there. Yeah, Matt Bernstein was in MR chat today.
Oh my god. Wow. Oh,
Yes.
I didn't see that. I really didn't.
All right,
But
Barry. Yeah, Barry. Yeah, I haven't met you before.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, for Autumn filled me on that Feldo drama.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't a nice guy actually, and I used to really well. I really liked his show, and it helped me a lot during the time when I found out about imprecatory prayers from that uh guy who goes on his show. He's a pastor, a reverend, and but he's very anti. He's very pro separation of church and state. God, I can't remember his name.
Are you talking about
He goes on Felder. Yeah, Barry Lynn.
Barry
Is his name?
Lynn? I don't know
Yeah,
who the hell that
Reverend Barry
is.
Lynn. It's a name like that. Might have a third name as well. Yeah, he used to go on Feldo's show.
Jam. Wow.
Reverend Barry Lynn. Yeah,
Oh my god. I didn't know he came out as a Zionist at first. And then I didn't know he was not such a fucking nice guy to you. And I wonder why he stopped going on the Majority Report.
I don't know if he's stopped it, but I've definitely seen him. Well, he's not being on so much, and I was wondering if that was the reason.
Probably the reason he became Zionist and Sam Cedar said, like, you know what? Fuck
Yeah,
you, no Zionist.
yeah, because I mean they have a relationship. They must have talked about it. So,
Oh
um,
yeah.
yeah, yes,
Sam Cedar.
Barry. Yes, thank you. Yes,
Oh,
Barry I think he's got three names.
Rusty. Oh, it's Rusty. I am neither pro nor anti-Zionist. Sam Cedar. Oh, Barry.
It sounds anti-Zionist.
Oh, anti-Zionist. Okay. I think Sam's opinion has evolved on Zionists. Yeah. Yeah, it has.
They,
Trust me. um, Barry
yes, thank
W.
you, Series.
Oh, Barry W. Lynn. Okay. Okay, okay. That's the priest. That's the priest. Red hair that you were talking
Um,
about?
yes,
Oh,
yeah, he used to go on photos.
oh, okay. I see. So yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure Sam Cedar is anti-Zionist. In fact, he said that on multiple occasions. Yep. You've said it multiplication. Mona, welcome in. Hello.
He got into
Thanks for
trouble when he was young, when he was taken to Israel. I don't think it was birthright. I think he was younger,
oh
and he fell
God.
out with his rabbi. I remember Sam telling that story. I don't know the details, but yeah, he was, yeah.
My God. Ugh.
So,
Next to Ben Glebe of TYT. Oh my God. I hate him.
yeah,
I
I've
hate
never
him.
actually watched him, but I know who he is.
He's
But
he
TYT aren't they're not pro-Palestine at all. They're anti-Israel. Schengen Anna, and I would say Anna. I don't know enough, but she's anti-Semitic. They don't give a shit
mhm.
about Palestinians. They like to slag off Israel. Um, yeah, I don't know if Anna was always like that, but I've never really seen her be pro-Palestine. It's all I always see her criticising Israel. Oh yeah, Rusty. I have never heard. I mean, Sam's always been very. He
Yeah.
does some. They do some
Oh,
silly things like
sorry.
have.
Hello.
Hello. They do some dumb things like
Hey, I'm
they don't
sorry.
check their sponsors and things like that, and they've had some dodgy sponsors and things. But Sam is definitely not a Zionist.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, he's
I've got
totally
some
not a Zionist.
criticisms of the Majority Report, but that's not one of them.
Wow. Oh my God, that's fucked up. Asking when he said that, like I'm supposed to pull that right up my ass? Really? Uh, Anna's definitely full
Yeah,
on bigot.
I would check it out, Rusty. Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, please go look it up. Go look it up on like what, Google or Microsoft?
He might have had like
Uh,
I don't know when he was younger. He might have had more liberal Zionist view, but certainly since I've been watching him, which is at least
mhm.
10 years.
Oh yeah.
Um,
But I did watch that one clip where Alex Jones uh crashed into TYT one time.
when Jimmy
I,
Dore spits on him, I don't think Jimmy should have done that. Actually, I don't. I think well, it's assault, isn't it? I don't think you should. I think a punch would have been better. I think spit is a bit gross.
oh good God, that's disgusting. I saw that moment. With Jimmy Dore
Yeah,
beating the shit out of Alex Jones. Oh yeah.
I
Sam
shouldn't
won't
have
even
done that.
have Zionist friends. Oh, Judy Gold. She's a nightmare.
She's, yeah, he
She's been
extended her way too much, Grace.
yeah.
He should have stopped having her on before she came
Oh
out as designer.
yeah.
And oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah,
Yeah, so that's why she's not been on. Yeah, she's a Zionist. Total Zionist.
like a mega Zionist. Yeah,
Oh
I'm.
shit, just
It
wait.
surprised me that they wouldn't have had that conversation before. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. I they never had that conversation before just yet. But I do know that she's as a scientist, and that's completely it. Gemini says, in short, he has not quote unquote declared himself an anti-Zionist. What? Really, Rusty? Can you tell us more? Oh, Shorts is weird.
I
Oh,
don't understand
sorry.
shorts. Also, the community tab is really confusing. Unless it could be my um phone has been a bit weird. I think I'm answering the wrong questions in the
Okay.
wrong places.
Yeah. You might be in the wrong place, but I don't know. Oh. Yeah. You keep searching, please. But
I would look
Gemini.
for an actual him talking about it. I would say, like,
Mm,
actually talking to, like, I'm trying to think if there's a clip or something.
hmm
Um,
Judge a man by his actions. I bet lefty. All Google summaries are iffy by best.
yeah,
It, hmm But yeah, you can blame the Google AI, of course. But I know what you're doing there, bad lefty, judging a man or my guest by actions. Oh, I guarantee that Sam's ultimate sentiment is that he is anti-Zionist. He calls it a genocide all the time. Yes.
do you remember they used to advertise Brooklyn um, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he found out that they had factories in the West Bank, and he jobbed them on. But yeah, it took a while to get rid of ExpressVPN.
Oh yeah, they got rid of their ass.
I think yeah, but that did take a while. There's a few things that and
Mm.
they are slow to listen to their audience when their audience knows that there's predators they've had on their show. And I can think of multiple examples. Oh yeah, and the fact that I've forgotten that they've had Andrew Callahan on
Jesus Christ.
since that. I was really pissed off about that. I was a real fan of Andrew Callahan. Um, I was furious when I found out. Fucking creep. Yeah, things like that. But I think Sam's just like it's. I don't think he's intentionally like that. I think he's just not very online and not very switched on.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yes, yeah, bad lefties, right?
that is totally right. And he also
He
won't
never,
claim dem socialism.
yeah, he never says what his actual his actual beliefs.
I mean, that's why I like Emma, and that's why I like Matt, and that's why I
Um,
like Brian.
I find Mac. I mostly agree with him, but yeah, he can be arrogant, and yeah, and I'm still not over him demodding Autumn. But I ride really hard for my friends, so that's probably a me thing. Um, yeah, there's a few things. Yeah, his arrogance can get to me sometimes. I can't think of specific examples now, but yeah, generally, yeah, and I like Emma. Yeah, um, but I do have to say, like for me, peak Emma was Michael Brooks and Sam. I've got to say it.
Oh,
Um,
but yeah, I like Emma too.
yes, and there's probably a lot of like nostalgia in it for me as well. I don't know how if it was like that now. I could, but yeah,
Yeah,
no, I do like Emma. I haven't got any. I didn't realise it for a while, but I think I had some prejudice towards her because she came from TYT, which I didn't really realise until I said it to someone else. I was like, oh
she came from
because
TYT.
yeah, which is unfair of me, but that's what I thought of TYT.
Hmm.
um, I did think Anna might make it out, like when she was with doing stuff with Michael, but now looking back, I can see it. It wasn't her. It was, yeah. I think she was faking it.
Uh, oh, explicitly said that it is a mistake that needs to be to change. It also
Yeah.
challenged the biblical and religious narratives around it. And Sam's a funny Zionist who keeps accidentally hiring all these types of radical lefty comedy type.
Oh, Pac-Man is a full blown Zionist. He is. What did Kennedy quote? I always quote her. Pac-Man is a liberal at home and a fascist abroad.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck Pac-Man.
he denied the um Bolivia coup in Bolivia. Yeah, Pac-Man's a can't stand him. Really
I
can't. He's a
can't stand
chorus
him.
boy as well, isn't he? Yeah, yeah. I remember first kind of getting into American pop and sort of dabbling with it, and like very quickly I couldn't handle him.
Hmm. Oh,
And I've got to
David.
say, I'm not a fan of Kyle, but I kind of enjoy hating on Kyle because people love him so much. But he says some pretty outrageous things. Um, yeah, no, I didn't like Patman.
Oh
Yeah,
no. We all know what he did. He stole the majority report set.
yeah, he did. I think he really wants to be Sam Cedar, and then he wants to be Rachel Maddow, which is a joke I've been saying since about 2018.
He has no shot in hell of
um,
being Sam Cedar. Sorry. Oh, David A. Packman tried to toe the line and he just dropped it because he would lose subscribers. Yep.
but I remember Pat like realizing Patman was a Zionist in like 2018 or something. I mean, I guess I was like, yeah, Palestine was because my one of the people that really politicized me was my partner who died very long time ago, but he was
Oh my
um
god.
brought up in South Africa, and him and his mum were anti-apartheid activists in South Africa, and that was so much. It was so married to the Palestinian cause. So I've been kind of aware of it for a long time.
Damn. That's a shame.
And Ireland as well. Those, yeah, that was growing up. That was very much
Oh my
Ireland,
god.
South Africa, and Palestine.
Yeah, my god,
And
that's a shame.
he was the best person I've ever met. Actually, I've got to say, um, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Mm,
number 61. I'm choking on us. That's his number. Choking on us
uh-huh.
61. I better
I'm
let you go. We've been talking a long time. Unless you, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, really? I didn't know. I was going to call you OG. Jesus, because
oh, my ex is a Palestine, so I was more aware too. Oh shit, B cat. Wow. I didn't know that. But anyway, yeah, it's been 2 hours.
I know. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem. So everybody, Choki's around the chats. Um,
Right,
C is mostly an MR,
I've got
sometimes
to
in the
say,
zones.
I've been avoided. Yes, I've been hiding a little bit from Emma. Yeah, I've been more around the Cess and Sutton, Brandon Sutton discourse as well.
And yeah, the story that you might have heard today, it was first told on the letter hack, but I got the full story today.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Sorry, I keep
Yeah,
interrupting you. Oh yeah, you're right.
yeah. I forgot to mention that. But anyway, oh, Choki is chat royalty.
Thank you.
Thank you, reference frame. Oh,
Oh
BCAT.
really? Thank you, Vika. I don't know if that's a Midi said the same thing. He said I was exactly what he expected.
Yeah. I mean, Biddy is like modding couple places, co-mods with me, in one place left the box.
Oh yeah. I'm never sure
Oh,
when that's on.
oh, Sam definitely denounced Zionism. Will not to explain that confident Zionism with Judaism is dangerous, muddies the water. Sorry, I kept trying to type this, then I accidentally deleted it. No, it's okay. I didn't know the story.
Oh God,
Someone
yeah,
called
because he
us.
argued with Ethan Klein about it, debated with. Yeah, you can check that up, Rusty. His I don't know um what show that would be on, but yeah, he had that debate with Ethan Klein about Zionism.
My God,
So,
can't stand Ethan Klein.
oh God, no, I didn't know who he was until he did that. Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare! That was the first time and I never watched. In fact, I
No,
think Hassan should never have brought him onto the scene.
I mean, the dude's fucking
He was
dangerous.
never the remotely progressive from what I hear. He was a Zionist always. He's a racist. He hates women. He's a creep. Yeah, I don't
Mm,
know what he was doing there. But I didn't, yeah, leftovers wasn't my thing either.
I lost his option. Good visit YouTube. All right. With that, it's been 2 hours.
Yes, thank
But I
you.
gotta,
I'll go.
yeah. So I gotta send everybody to the majority report. Uh, Thank y'all very, very much, and thank you, Choki. We'll see you around the chats, and
Yes,
please keep me updated on the case.
will do.
All
See
right.
you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Chokinonashes. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my guest, Chokinonashes 61. Um, I wish I had something to do, but I want y'all to do me a favor. Before y'all go over to the Vanguard, I want y'all to hit that like, share, subscribe, and be notified every time I go live, put out a short video or put a premiere or a video essay. All right, so finally, I was supposed to have Annie today, but now, after almost 5 months, really after 4 months, I'm going to finally have Annie on next week. That's my next guest. She's going to come on here and finally announce her campaign. And, oh, you're about to hear Annie's next week, B-Cat, because she's announcing her campaign next week. Because I've been wanting to do this in January, but I had to wait for 4 months. So yeah, Annie, right? B-Cat. She's coming on my show next week. You call Sam. I give Looney Tunes 9,000 a $10 super chat if you do. I do not have the ability to do super chats yet. Yeah, so everybody, come back next week. Annie's coming on. She's gonna announce her campaign. Make sure we get the campaign promises and make sure we all that jazz because she had to do a endorsement interview today. That's why she couldn't come on. And now she's gonna finally come on next week. So yeah, everybody, before you go, do all the things. Please go over to the Vanguard. I think they're still live. It is 4:52 East, 3:52 Central. Thank you. Um, yeah, so go to the Vanguard. Go to the Vanguard, everybody. All right, thank you. All right, can you link everybody to the Vanguard, please? Um, Everybody, do yourselves a favor. Let's switch to the Vanguard, and Hey, my pleasure. And I'm going to do another guest next week. Sure. Um, while you're waiting, um, everybody, yeah, do all the things. Thank you. Yeah, let me pin that real quick. Let me see if I can pin that real quick. No, damn it. All right. Oh well. No, shit. All right. Yeah, everybody, take yourselves to the Vanguard, and I will see y'all next week with my guest, Sandy Fitzgerald. Yeah, it's hot as hell. I have to do a lot of things. I have to have a lot of watch hours. I have to have a lot of things. Um, I have to have a lot of subscribers. I have to do a lot. Um, but yeah, good for Gabby. You got to come back next week. Annie's coming on. All right, Vanguard. Click the link. See you next week. And what do I always say when we leave the chats? Stay woke, stay gay, and peace on. Oh, and thank you to one wonderful mods today.